along with their timeline. Maybe he also became inactive like the rest of the angels. We're just asking the important questions here, folks.
Hey, you feeling okay?
I see him.
Hit's improvement ability. In the anime, during Goku and Hit's battle, Hit starts to do something that appears to be powering up. We all thought Hit got stronger, but then Goku comments that Hit's power, he later discovered that he didn't power up, but he did something called
I want you to jump up. I want you to jump up.
Abdul
Sing.
What actually happened was that Hit increased his time skip from 0.1 seconds to 0.2 seconds. This ability was compared to the same
But Steven,
is that we never hear Hit's improvement ability ever again. Hit fought Dispo and It's almost like the anime just forgot about this. Limits for the
dapat isang material lang.
Why didn't he improve during his fight with She-Ra? It's also unclear whether he was still using time skip with 0.5 seconds or the 0.1 seconds.
Dapat food lang.
And his time skip was always at 0.1 seconds. So it's a plot hole within the anime.
Where are you?
Super Saiyan God. It was thought that Super Saiyan God was a temporary transformation. Goku was fighting Beerus in space and suddenly dropped out of Super Saiyan God into a regular Super Saiyan. Yet he was still able to go head-to-head with Beerus. When Goku asked Beerus for an explanation, Beerus told him that the power fused with you and became your own, and that the God's red blaze still burns inside him like a scarlet flame. Basically, Goku had absorbed the power of Super Saiyan God and made it his own. Toriyama even confirms this during an interview when asked directly if Goku would use the form in the future. He said that there's no need for him to transform into Super Saiyan God. Afterwards, we didn't see Super Saiyan God in the anime for 2 complete story arcs, which makes sense according to Toriyama's interview.
Can you make me like a moderator in the community group?
Super Saiyan God during the Tournament of Power. It doesn't seem surprised to see it, and there isn't any explanation of why Goku didn't use it before. Just recently, it was revealed that Super Saiyan God Vegeta will be in the Dragon Ball Super movie. Yet another transformation that never appeared in the anime is now suddenly appearing. Maybe Goku and Vegeta have always had the ability to transform into a Super Saiyan God, and just didn't use it for 2 complete story arcs. Whis explains that using Super Saiyan God consumes less stamina than Blue, so it would have been wise to use it in the previous arcs. In the manga, these issues didn't occur as Super Saiyan God was in previous story arcs already.
Seems ridiculous to make Blue this cold, but it totally works.
That's all, folks. Do you know of any Dragon Ball plot holes we may have missed? Do you disagree with the ones we said? Let us know in the comment section below and subscribe to CVR for more videos just like this one. Thanks for watching.
Dragon Ball has had a mainstay presence ever since it debuted in the mid-80s. With all those years of content, though, it's pretty much inevitable that some plot holes and mysteries arise. Sometimes previous information is contradicted by newer bits, while sometimes the writers seemingly forget the past. Sometimes they actually forgot to answer their own questions. We've rounded up a super...
Watching Dragon Ball Z on Toonami back in the 1990s, or you just recently went back to catch up on it after getting your first taste of Dragon Ball Super, if you're here, then you, like millions of fans, know what a weird, wild, wonderful show it is. And you probably also have questions. Why do some of the fights seem to drag on forever? How come Super Saiyans have blonde hair? And what is the deal with Piccolo? Well, wonder no more. We're here to give you a crash course. Here are 10 amazing Dragon Ball Z facts you probably didn't know. Blonde hair meant less work. Super Saiyans may vary in height, age, and personality, but they all have a few things in common. Incredible strength, a golden aura, and fabulous blonde hair. What you might not know is that the bright yellow updos were originally just a time-saving design choice for the team that put out the Dragon Ball manga. In the black and white comics, blonde hair is represented by blank white space, meaning it doesn't have to be painstakingly inked in like a non-super jet black hair. The fact that this shortcut eventually became an iconic look for the series is just a nice bonus. Goku always sounds the same in Japan. In the world of English DBZ subs, protagonist Son Goku is notorious for having been voiced by a staggering total of 12 different voice actors over the years. More people than you can count on both your hands. But in Japan, Goku has had the same voice actress since...
Wait, don't leave, okay?
was for the now classic Ash Bison that Japan once provided a government grant of public funds to help finance a DC movie. The movie in question? 2013's Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods, which ended up being the first theatrically released Dragon Ball Z film in nearly 2 decades, and which is generally credited with rekindling interest in the series and kickstarting Dragon Ball Super. Japan granted about $600,000 in US money to help make Battle of the Gods, an amount that's estimated to be a little more than 10% of the feature's overall budget. Actually, it's over 8,000. Even people who've never seen Dragon Ball Z have probably heard someone yell, "It's over 9,000! It's over 9,000!" in a tone of exaggerated disbelief. It's one of the most iconic lines of dialogue from the 90s North American BBC dub that many fans grew up with. But the 9,000 figure that achieved everlasting fame as an internet meme back in the mid-2000s was actually from the original numbers in the mangas. What's more, nobody's really sure if this is 8,000 to 9,000 was a stylistic decision or just a mistranslation. In any case, superfans... Nobody's really sure if this was a stylistic decision or just a mistranslation. In any case, superfans know that later English dubs of the show have corrected this figure, but we think everyone can agree that it's over 8,000 just doesn't have the same ring to it. The anime is just like the manga, except when it catches up.
Okay.
The Dragon Ball Z anime was produced Game of Thrones or Attack on Titan style, with animated episodes coming out right alongside the manga while creator Akira Toriyama was still writing it. Unlike either of those shows, though, DBZ didn't just go on hiatus while waiting for Toriyama to finish, nor did it head down its own path while waiting for his input. Instead, the animators made up one-off stories and side stories to fill in the space and stall for time, picking back up with the main story once it had been written. This is why, for example, Goku and Piccolo decide to get their driver's licenses for no real reason at one point in the show, and why the infamous Namek saga was so mind-bogglingly long, with around 4 solid hours of fighting between Goku and Frieza alone, because Toriyama hadn't finished writing the end of that story by the time the show got there. Forgot about launch. DBZ creator Akira Toriyama, like many of Japan's most famous mangaka, is a prolific writer who seems to be most at home when he's in motion, working on one of his stories. He doesn't slow down for much of anything. As a result, he's become infamous in the DBZ fan community for being very forgetful about Dragon Ball, despite having written all of it himself. He once forgot that there was a Super Saiyan level 2 between Super Saiyan 1 and 3, for example. But the character who suffered the most indignity due to Toriyama's absent-mindedness was Launch, a woman with a split personality that switched back and forth every time she sneezed. She was written out of DBZ with no real explanation as to why. On several occasions, Toriyama's official explanation has been that he simply forgot about her. Dragon Ball has some seriously weird roots. There's more to DBZ's background than the CUG, or Journey to the West. Fans know that this classic 16th century Chinese tale was a major source of inspiration for the setting and characters of Dragon Ball, especially Son Goku, who is based on the character Monkey. What most fans don't know is that the 7 mystic Dragon Balls, after which the series is named, came from a much stranger Japanese story, Nanso Satomi Hakenten, or the 8 Dog Chronicles. Written around 200 years ago, this enormous 106-volume novel tells of a princess who, to be blunt, mates with her father's dog and gives birth to 8 magical balls, which then fly up into the air and shoot off in every direction. It's a pretty gross premise, so it's not hard to see why Akira Toriyama might have changed the number of balls to 7 in order to distance his series from the source material. Piccolo is just a kid. Though he's an adult by any practical standard, Goku's mortal enemy turned respected ally is actually only about 900 years old at the start of Dragon Ball Z. In fact, all the Namekians age very quickly. This is a bit clearer in the original Dragon Ball anime, where an adolescent Piccolo is seen fighting Goku only a few years after being hatched from the egg of his father, the evil King Piccolo, whom Goku had previously killed. However, it's never really explained in black and white at any point during either show, which can make the younger Piccolo's timeline a bit confusing for those not to know. Semi-Perfect Cell was too dumb to stay semi-perfect. The infamous DBZ villain Cell got fast-tracked to its final form because the editor of the Dragon Ball manga thought the preceding form looked moronic. We can't argue with the guy. Semi-Perfect Cell wasn't exactly a scholar. The editor's distaste and the pressure he put on Akira Toriyama to expedite the transformation process is why Vegeta allows Cell to attain his perfect form without resisting him. Not because the Saiyan Prince would necessarily have decided to let him power up under normal circumstances, but because that was the most convenient way to skip ahead to Cell's less dopey-looking final form. After watching Frieza's transformations play out in agonizing slowness, though, we suspect most fans didn't really mind the change of pace. Vegeta almost never calls Goku Goku. Most fans know that nearly every character name in Dragon Ball Z is based on some kind of wordplay. Raditz comes from the English word for radish. Jiaozu is based on charsu, a Chinese-style dumpling, and so on. Obviously, Vegeta falls into this category as well, but Son Goku is more of a stretch, mostly based on Sun Wukong, Monkey's name in Journey to the West. Vegeta, however, almost completely refuses to acknowledge Goku's birth name, instead referring to him by his Saiyan name, which is the play on the word carry. Maybe Vegeta's a Saiyan purist, or maybe he just really likes puns. Whatever the case, DBZ's favorite bad boy only refers to Goku as Goku a total of 8 times in the entire DBZ series. So, which of these amazing DBZ facts surprised you the most? Were there any that you already knew? Anyone share with us? Give this video a thumbs up and tell us in the comments below. And subscribe to see all of our super-powered videos about anime, comic books, pop culture, and much, much more.
His teammates here. I'm such a bot.
Goku is a man of many techniques and surprises. We've seen him grow from a scrappy little kid in Dragon Ball into a powerful adult in Dragon Ball Z, then back into a child in GT, and then back into an adult again in GT and Super. No matter the show, movie, or saga, Goku is constantly surprising us with new and amazing abilities. It's difficult to keep track of everything this guy can do, so here are a few that you and probably a lot of Z fighters don't know about. But first, it's always a good idea to subscribe and enable notifications. That way you can be the first to see all of the coolest new content that CR has to offer.
Wait, I've heard of this technique. Right now it's gathering all of the latest energy in his body, then he's going to release it all at once.
Mimicry. Goku may not be the brightest crayon in the box, but man is he a quick learner. Goku has a power that's not often discussed, and that is his ability to learn a new technique after seeing it only one time. There are other fighters who have been known to do this as well. Vegeta learns from Z fighters how to sense someone's ki without using a scouter. Chiaotzu learns how to self-destruct when he sees the Cyberman technique, and Frieza steals Krillin's trademark Destructo Disc move. Even
So,
Black uses
so
mimicry.
trash.
Super. You might think that Cell does the same thing, but remember, sure, it's impressive that others can do it too. Goku's been using mimicry ever since he was a little tiny in the original Dragon Ball.
You mean you can really do that?
In fact, he learned the legendary Kamehameha wave mere seconds after watching Master Roshi perform the move that took him 50 years to develop. But that's not all he learns from Roshi. He learns the Drunken Boxing fighting style that is after him. It then puts them to use in the
Let's see if I get it. No, I think you're not.
Super senses. Part of what makes makes Goku such a formidable opponent is his heightened senses. He uses his gift of sight to see and anticipate movement, giving him incredible reflexes. He also has super hearing, which gives him an edge while fighting a
Next
dog.
year.
He might not even need enhanced hearing, as he has a sixth sense for detecting where someone is by feeling for their energy. While not typically useful in a fight scenario, Goku additionally has a heightened sense of smell. Unsurprisingly, being the gluttonous Saiyan that he is, he mostly uses this super ability to find food. He has been known to use it on other occasions.
Now you boys have one more task to perform before we go
What
inside
level are
that
you?
wonderful smelling supper.
While he and Krillin are training with Master Roshi in Dragon Ball, Roshi throws a stone into the forest and tasks them with finding it. Goku later turns over the stone, saying he was able to find it because it smells like Master Roshi.
It smells like Master Roshi. What are you, a dog?
Of course, in this situation, he was still motivated by food because the one who didn't find the rock lived to go without supper. So technically, he still used his power of heightened smell for food. But hey, that's Goku for you.
Try.
Invisible Eye Blast. It's not as flashy as Superman's heat vision, but it's still crazy awesome. Imagine just being able to look at something and willing it to explode. I'm not sure when it would ever become useful in your daily lives, but when you have the power to do it, it would be cool enough. Maybe you could use it to kill bugs in your house, although that might get a bit messy. Goku hasn't had much use for it in battle, but we've seen the Supreme Kai and Majin Buu both use it. Actually, the Supreme Kai uses it on Buu to stun him, and he uses it on Buu's energy blast to save Gohan. Majin Buu sees the technique, and then uses his ability of mimicry to learn the invisible eye blast as well, using it to send the Supreme Kai flying. Goku, on the other hand, hasn't really used it for much. He did use it once on Namek to dig up a grave for Vegeta, but Goku's technique is the energy blast. The other time he uses it is in GT against Omega Shenron. He always uses it to show off his new power as a Super Saiyan 4 by holding Shenron's movement a few times.
Don't speak. This will be a lot faster. Just relax.
Telepathy. Another superpower later uses by cell phones. Okay, maybe not completely, but it is going the way of the floppy disk. Using telepathy, Goku
Lady died.
What's up, William? I'm in my
uses it with Krillin to stop him from killing Vegeta, and he uses it when Gohan is in his training to help him target Vegeta. He also uses telepathy to actually read Krillin's mind. Upon finishing his training and meeting up with Gohan and Krillin on Namek, Goku has his mind on the events that transpired while he was away. So rather than sit and wait for Krillin to explain, he decides to place a hand on his head and read his mind. He explains that no one actually taught him the technique. He just sort of learned how to do it after finishing his training.
That was my first time. It's weird. I finished my training program on the ship and something happened.
We see Master Roshi, Piccolo, and King Kai all use telepathy, so it is possible that he was able to pick it up from one of them, but we'll never really know. It wasn't the first technique he randomly figured out how to do, and judging by the goings-on in Dragon Ball Super, it won't be the last.
The others may not have seen the power behind that attack, but you got to see my eyes.
Energy Shield, Instant Transmission, Kamehameha, Spirit Bomb, these are all techniques that Goku learned from others. But he's no stranger to developing his own techniques as well. After all, he's the first one to beat the Lord type of Super Saiyan. He's also the first character to be seen using an Energy Shield. Key users are the only ones who can create force fields, and the strength of their shield depends on their mastery of Ki, and sometimes the power. Broly, for instance, was able to create an energy shield, and the shield was so strong that it withstood the force of an exploding planet. Goku hasn't used the technique recently, but seeing as how he can become a god now, his shield is bound to be able to withstand the force of 1,000,000 exploding planets. There are a couple of times we actually get to see him use the energy shield. He uses it in Dragon Ball, protecting himself from killing Piccolo while charging up a one-handed Kamehameha. He also uses an energy shield to protect himself from attacks in the tree of lightning.
More, please. Okay.
I'm used to that
In his stomach. Goku sure eats a lot of it. To be fair, he does train constantly under immense conditions, and if he's not training, he's fighting to save the world, so he must need
Welcome to the
consume
stream.
calories. But this guy takes it to an otherworldly level. Of course, he is a Saiyan, and his other Saiyan friends and family do pretty much the same amount of eating, but man is it a sight to behold. It's a running joke throughout the series about how much these guys can eat, and it never gets less astonishing watching the bowls and plates stack up higher and higher.
On your finger.
Goku can eat pounds and pounds of food and yet never never gain any weight. It's unknown just how many calories he consumes, but even if he was burning more calories than taking them in, you would think he would have...
Amongst all the freedom and great things that come with Red Dead Redemption 2, also come a very long list of dishonorable and horrible things that we can do at the same time in Red Dead Redemption 2. This video was inspired from the likes of Shirako Gaming, a YouTuber who I'm sure a lot of y'all have heard of. Very controversial.
I saw your stream title, mate.
Well, today I've got 10 very dishonorable and horrible things that you can do in Red Dead Redemption 2 if you're bored after you beat the game, or if you just get bored of the storyline. Well, these are some very dark things that you could take into consideration. Let me know some bad things that you've done in the game. The worst thing that happened to me was I was interrogating somebody, being a loan shark, trying to get my money back, and I accidentally killed him. And I felt so bad. I tried to be a very honorable player in the game, but if you are a dark, dishonorable player in Red Dead Redemption 2, well, hopefully I can earn your thumbs up and your subscription. Number 10, bullying children. The game actually prohibits you from doing any more than that. I tried, trust me, I'm sure a lot of y'all have as well. That's just Rockstar avoiding a dangerous lawsuit. But calories and insanity can actually find children, and, well, they don't take too kind to dynamite sticks, but it really doesn't do too
Yeah,
much
what?
to them. But you can push them down, and you can also trample them with your horse.
Alright. Oh my gosh, there's a llama right there. They don't go for that llama. We both got wrecked. We both got deleted by SMGs.
Something good may come out of this tragedy after all.
Such a bot.
December 31, sa TFC.
Oh, this is has to be the worst landing ever. Oof. I'm getting super teamed. Oh my god, I'm so dead. I'm so dead. There's so many.
Alright, let's do my solo.
That's why I'm not trying to kill anyone. There's so many.